Hello students, how are you all? Hope you are staying at home and staying safe. Now here I am with the second part of the chapter, that is heat. In the first part of the video, we have already discussed about heat, temperature, how it is measured and different types of thermometer. In this chapter, we will know about how heat gets transferred from one object to another, the different ways by which it gets transferred and the different natural phenomena behind this transfer of heat. So let's get started. To carry heat from one part of an object to the other part or from one object to other object is called transfer of heat. Students, keep it in mind, in order to transfer heat between two objects, there must be a temperature difference. That means the heat will be transferred from the higher object having higher temperature to the object having lower temperature. So heat can be transferred by three different ways. These are, first one is conduction, second convection and the third radiation. Conduction, in this kind of transfer of heat, the heat is transferred between two material or the parts of a material, not by the movement of the particles itself. Heat is transferred, but the particles are not moving the heat. This type of transfer takes place in case of solid. Now coming to liquids. In liquids, or in better to use the term fluids. Acha, what does the term fluid means? Fluid means the material which can flow. Fluid means both liquid and gases. So convection takes place in case of fluids, where the materials transfer the heat, or rather the particles of the fluid transfer the heat from one part to another. And in case of radiation, no such medium is required for the transfer of heat. Let us study about all the three modes by which heat gets transferred in details. Let's begin with conduction. Conduction is the way in which heat is transferred from the hot part of an object to its cooler part without the movement of the particles. See students, if you in the video you can see that if we heat a spoon, then you will find that after some time the heat will be transferred from the hot part of the spoon to the cooler part of the spoon. But there will be no movement of the particles from the hot part to the cooler part. As you know, solids, the particles are closely packed and the force of attraction between the particles is very high. They cannot move as in case of fluids. So here the particles does not carry the heat from one place to another. Rather, the heat gets transferred within the material without the movement of the particle. Next is convection. In case of convection, heat is transferred from the hot part of a liquid or the hotter part of the liquid or gas to its cooler part by the movement of the particles itself. See, convection can take place only in case of liquid and gases. It can never take place in case of solid. Why? Because the force of attraction in the particles of the solids are very high, so they cannot move freely. So student, if you see that we have performed a simple activity here. See, if we heat water, we know that water is a bad conductor of heat. So the heat is transferred in water by the mode of convection. See, whenever we keep a beaker on the flames, then what happens? The water gets heated up. In this activity, what we have done, we have taken some potassium permanganate crystals in the beaker and now we will heat it. Then what we will find? When a beaker containing the water is kept over a burner, water at the bottom of the water near the flames get heated, expands and become lighter. This hot water, being lighter, rises upward and carries heat along with it. The cold water from above, being denser, sinks downwards to take the place of the hot rising water. This cold water then gets heated up by the burner and also rises up, carrying its heat upward, and more cold water sink downward. There's a process of hot water rising upward and the cold water sinking downward, and it's going on again and again. This results in the formation of convection current, and this make the water present in the beaker hot. This activity, with the help of potassium permanganate crystal, we can see the convection current. As we can see, the blue color is rising up. That means the blue color got dissolved in water and that water is rising up. So in the activity, we can clearly see the convection current and how water is heated up. So students, tell me, have you ever been to a seashore? It may be Dikha, or it may be Puri, Vizag, Visakhapatnam, Marine Drive. So if you have gone there, or if you have seen any videos, you can see that every time if you visit a seashore, if you see the videos of seashore, it is always windy. Means the breeze is always flowing in the seashore. Now we will learn why the seashores are so much windy. This wind is due to the process of convection. Sounds interesting? Let us dive into it. What happens during daytime? The lands get heated up more faster with respect to water. In the sea beach, what happens? The sand gets heated up faster. So the air above the sand also gets heated up, and we know that hot air is lighter, so it will move upward. When the air above the sand will move upward, then that will create a vacant place above the sand. Now students, the ocean water or the sea water as compared to land, it is not that hot. It is cooler. So the air above the sea or ocean is also cooler. When there will be a vacant place, when there is a vacant place created just above the sand, then what will happen? The cold air from the oceans or above the oceans or sea will rush towards that vacant place in order to occupy that place. Then what will happen? Then that air will come in contact with the sand. Again it will be heated up. Again what will happen? It will rise up, and again there will be a vacant place created. So the cold air above the sea will again rush to that vacant place. So it is a continuous process. So whenever we go to a seashore during daytime, we will find that it is always breezy. And the movement of the air or the direction of the air or the breeze will be from the sea to the land. This type of breeze is called sea breeze. During night time, what happens? That the land gets cooler very fast, whereas the ocean water remain warm. So what happens? The air above the warm ocean water gets the heat and rises up. In the same way, a vacant place is created. Then the air above the land rushes to fulfill that vacant place. And again when it comes in contact with the warm ocean water, it gets heated up, and again it rises up. In the same way, again the circle goes on and on. So during night, the wind blow from the land to the sea. So this type of breeze is called land breeze. Last type is radiation. So what happens in radiation? That heat is transferred from a hot object to a cold object with the help of some heat rays. See what happens when an object is hot, it emits some rays, and those rays are invisible, and those rays, when it comes in contact with a cooler object, makes that cooler object hot. There are so many examples of radiation. Students, in case of conduction, you have seen that there must be a direct contact with the flames or the hot object with the cold object. And in case of convection, one thing is required, that is convection current. In order to form the convection current, the flames or the hot object must be present at the bottom of the object. That means that the hot air or the liquid needs to rise up. Then only there will be a convection current. But student, tell me one thing. Have you ever seen that electric bulb? If you keep your hand just below the electric bulb, students, keep in mind, I'm not telling you to touch the electric bulb. I'm telling you, if there is an electric bulb, put your hands below it. Can you feel a heat? So how you can feel that heat? That means something is coming out from that bulb, and when that rays come in contact with your hand, then only you're feeling the heat. In the same way, students, you know that we get during daytime we get the heat of the sun, and you know that in the solar system or the universe nothing is present, means vacuum is there, or space means no material is present between the sun and the earth. Then how this heat from the sun comes to earth? The heat from the sun comes to earth by the process of radiation. Understood? Even during winters, when you're sitting near the room heater, the rays or the hot heat rays emerges from the room heater, and when it comes in contact with you, you can feel the warmth. Yes or no? So in this kind, the radiation do not need any medium. See, radiation do not need any medium. That doesn't mean in any medium it won't work. If there is solid, then also radiation can take place. In liquid gases, then also radiation can take place. And if there is nothing, means no medium is present or vacuum is there, still heat rays can travel by this mode. We have come to the end of the video. In this video, we have learned about how heat gets transferred from an hotter part to its cooler part, or from an hot object to a cold object. Here we have discussed about conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction takes place in solid, convection in fluid, that means gases or liquid, and radiation do not require any material or medium. Hope you have understood the chapter, and I will come up with the next chapter very soon. Till then, be at home, be safe, and see you soon. Bye.